Nearly a quarter century, Sean Diddy Combs has been in the public eye as a musician, performer, and businessman. Now he's adding a new title, educator. I sat down with him recently to talk about all that and discovered he's still very willing to speak his mind, even when it comes to presidential politics. Puffy, you are not only a mega star and mogul, you have an education initiative. You opened a charter school in Harlem for this fall. Why was that important to you?
I went to this after-school program named Menacing. I grew up in Harlem, and I just remember that extra attention that I would get by the tutors. It was something that was needed because in the educational system in the city communities, they were so behind what was going on in the other communities of Scarsdale, Westchester, different parts of the Bronx, and it was so disproportionate that if it wasn't for a program like that, I wouldn't have been able to pass my grades, and I wouldn't have been able to make it really through school. And so as the years went by, I ran a marathon. Education's always been important to me. I ran a marathon, and we proudly raised $3 million for the New York City public school system. And my thing was I had a lot of concerns and complaints about the educational system and how our children are treated. And I'm a person of action. So instead of me talking about it, I wanted to go and work with the system and then show them a better way to do it. And I just thank them for giving me a chance. But I'm coming to really revolutionize, the junior high and high school levels of education. I think that we have to prepare our kids for the realities of what's out there. We have to prepare them to be leaders. And so those curriculums that are out there now are dated. That's not the times that we're in. And so as a community, if we don't update our curriculums, just as the curriculums are updated in Connecticut and the rest of the parts of, New York, then our children will constantly lag behind. And this has that domino effect that people don't understand, is that when they're wondering what's going on, it's our conditions. And you can't make no money unless you have an education. So it starts there, For me, it starts there, and instead of talking about it, I wanted to do something about it. So I'm very proud to say today I opened up, my charter school with Dr. Stephen Perry. It's called Capital Prep Harlem, and it's incredible.
I'm telling you, it's awesome. I know the kind of influence you have. I've seen it all over the country, all over the world, and you stayed out of the political stuff. But if you could tell either candidate, and I know you know Mrs. Clinton, you know Trump, the importance of young people, what would you want them to know? I don't want you getting into politics. Whoever the next president is, what do they need to do to help young people become successful?
I think it's all about education. It's all about education and jobs and creating different programs for them to have opportunities. It's hard to start your life after high school or college and you just can't get a job.
Right.
And there's nothing really set up for you to be able to get out there and to excel. And so I think that number one, they have to pay attention and they have to speak to young people. If they don't, a lot of young people aren't going to show up.
And they got to get the right people to talk to the young people.
And they're very disenfranchised. I mean, my number one thing though, and to be honest, is black people. I feel like we put President Obama in the White House, and when I look back, I just wanted more done for my people. Because that's the name of the game. This is politics. You put somebody in office, you get in return the things that you care about for your communities. And I think we got a little bit shortchanged, and that's not knocking the president. You know, there's a lot going on, a lot of balls in the joke. He's done an excellent job, you know. But I think it's time to turn up the heat, because the black vote is going to decide who is the next president of the United States. So I hope that
turn up the heat.
Yeah, Miss Clinton, you know, Hillary Clinton. I hope she starts to directly talk to the black community. I just really, it really makes me feel, you know, almost hurt that our issues are not addressed, and we're such a big part of the voting bloc. Yeah. And
not just rhetoric, but really address it.
Yeah. I mean,
I gotta ask you one thing before I let you go.
I need to give you an announcement.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I mean, I honestly think the heat has to be turned up so much that as a community, we got to hold our vote. Don't pacify yourself. Really revolutionize the game. Make them come for our vote. It's a whole different strategy, but I think we need to hold our vote, because I don't believe any of them.
All right. Well, that's a big announcement. All right. I think that's straight from the heart.
Yeah, I mean, you can get the vote. Yep. It don't have to be held that long, but you're going to have to come get it.
You got to come get it. And bring something with it to get it.
Oh, man, you have to bring something with it.
Let me ask you this. I hear you saying that on the music side, this may be your last album?
Yes.
And how's the tour going? I mean,
the tour is
sold
great.
out everywhere.
The tour is great.
I saw it in New Orleans. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been great to go out there and perform all the hits. This is like my victory lap. I want to be able to spend more time with my girls. They're getting bigger. Yeah. And every time I come off the road, it's you know, having to catch up and reconnect. You know, and that's not what I want, you know?
And if this is your last album now, you know, I watched you speak at the commencement at Howard where you went. You wouldn't be going into preaching, because I can't rap. We can't switch roles. So, I mean, you wouldn't be infringing on a brother, would you?
I mean, you never know, but if I do, I'm going to come to you for lessons, because you're the baddest in the game, baby.
Puppy Cole, thank you, man.
That's what's up.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.